So in 2023, Rishi Sunak, the then Prime Minister of UK, announced some policy change that affected international students. These policy changes were implemented January 2024. And those changes, which include the inability of master's students who are on a master's taught program to bring dependents into the UK, has affected the UK universities drastically. A lot of them have had to close some campuses, close some buildings, fire a lot of staff, stop some courses, and take other drastic measures to try and save the university. Now, some of them went back to the drawing board and started implementing some strategies. Now, one of the strategies that a lot of them have started implementing is to have a robust installment payment plan. So in this video, we are checking out 10 schools in the UK, 10 universities in the UK that have a multiple installment payment plan that will be very beneficial for international students who are considering doing their masters in the UK. So if you want to know those schools who as of 2025 have multiple installment payment plan, please keep on watching. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amaomi, aka Petit Diva, and I am a University of Nottingham alumni and also a Developing Solutions Scholarship Award winner. In this series of videos, we talk about the UK admission process, we talk about the UK application process, we talk about tips and tricks on how to enjoy your stay in the UK as an international student. And we also talk about tips and tricks on how to earn more money as an international student. So if you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, it has been a long time since I did this video, since I've put up any videos, since I've recorded any video on this channel. A lot has been happening for the past 1 year. One of the things that happened that made me slow down was the economy in Nigeria. A lot of people decided not to go to the UK for their master's program because things were a bit difficult. Another thing that also made me pause and made other people pause was the way the schools were behaving before the policy changes were implemented, and also the fact that a lot of postgraduate students who are married could not bring their dependent. So I decided to take a pause. I had other things that also occurred. If you want to find out more about that, I will talk about that at the end of this video, so you can watch to the end. Anyway, for those who are new here, I also offer some UK educational services. Previously, I used to offer SOP writing, academic CV writing that will help in securing you an admission. And I also used to offer an admission package where I do the whole thing. I help you apply. I mentor you on what are the best choices of courses to choose. I also help with the SOP writing and the academic CV writing. Previously, I used to have like 3 packages. However, for now, I only have 1 package available. And if you want to use the services, there is a link to my Telegram group. Yes, I have Telegram group where we share information as it is occurring. You can click the link, join the group, and then send me a DM. Right now, the group is closed, but by May, hopefully, I would open it and then we will start sharing information about the whole UK admission process. So if you want to use my service, please click the link in the description box and then send me a DM. Now, let's get into this video. Like I said, quite a lot of universities have now started implementing some strategies to try and grab the few people that want to still do their master's program in the UK. And one of them is the multiple installment payment plan. Now, some of the schools that I'm going to mention Previously, they used to have this multiple installment payment plan, but at one point in 2023, they started getting it to be funky, and they were doing some things that pissed a lot of international students off. And then Rishi Sunak came with his policy. It caused a lot of issue, and now they've reverted back. So I would be mentioning some of the schools who did that and how they have tried to redeem themselves. So now the first school that I'm going to mention that has multiple installment payment plans that a lot of international students like is the University of Salford. Now, University of Salford has stood on business for a long time. They never wavered, they never changed. Their deposit is 5,500 and they have always been like that. But they have a 7 installment payment plan, which is why a lot of international students love University of Salford. Now, you're supposed to pay the first payment a month after the resumption of your course. So if you're a September intake, your first payment will be from October. So you're doing October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So you're supposed to pay your remaining tuition fee after you've paid the deposit between those months. Now, the second school I'm going to mention is University of Hull. University of Hull was one of the schools that I recommended for a lot of people because at one point between 2020 and 2022, they were like the cheapest school that you could go to. Now, at that time, you could get a master's course for as low as 8,000. Now, the tuition fee is not as low as that, but as of 2024, I had a family member go for a course that was costing £12,000. Also, one of the things that made University of Hull very appealing to a lot of students was their low tuition deposit. At that time, it was 2,000, but they increased it to 4,000. Also, their installment payment plan at that time was 3, but they reduced it to 2. Now they have changed, and a lot of people have recommended University of Hull because they are kind of flexible. Now, their tuition fee deposit is 4,000 and they have 4 installment payment plans. So if you are a September intake, you are supposed to pay your first installment in October, then in November. In December, there's no payment. Then you resume again in January and then finish up in February. Now, if you're a January intake, you're supposed to pay in February and March, no payment in April, then resume again in May and June. However, a lot of students, current and just ex, have said they are very flexible, that you can establish a payment plan with them. So if you've paid your deposit of 4,000 and probably the first deposit, the remaining deposit you can pay over time. What they said is as long as you pay every month, they're not going to be very brutal with you, unlike some schools that were reporting their students to home office because they could not pay all their school fees or they were 2 days late. For Hull, so many people have commented that they are very flexible as long as you establish a payment plan with them. Now, the next school is University of Sutherland. Now, for University of Sutherland, the deposit fee is 3,500. However, there are some countries that they expect 50% of your tuition fee as deposit. Now, these countries are Sri Lanka, Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India. And for University of Sutherland, they have a 5 installment payment plan. So if you are a September intake, your first installment is supposed to be paid in November after paying your tuition fee deposit. So your first installment is in November. So you pay in November, December, January, February, March. For January intake, your first installment is from March. So March, April, May, June, July. So that is for University of Sutherland. Now, the next university is University of Portsmouth. Now, University of Portsmouth require 50% of your tuition fee as deposit. And then the remaining 50% is paid in 6 installments. Now, for September intake, you start paying from November and you're paying equal amount. I believe the date for payment is November 4th. So every 4th of the month, you're supposed to have paid. So you're paying November, December, January, February, March, April. And if you are a January intake, your first payment is supposed to be made in March. So you're going to pay March, April, May, June, July, August. And as with the September intake, it's supposed to be paid around the 4th of every month. Now, the next university is Durham University. Now, the deposit required for Durham University is between £1,000 to £4,000, and the remaining is supposed to be paid in 5 installments. Now, the next university is Teesside University. Now, previously, Teesside University is one of the universities that a lot of international students, especially Nigerian students, used to go to because they had a very nice installment payment plan, and some of their courses have 2 years option. And for the 2 years option, they split the tuition fee into 2. So if the 2 years option is costing like £17,000, they split it into 2. You're required to just show proof of fund and pay the deposit for the first year. So for a £17,000 course, the first year would be 8,500. So after paying the deposit fee of £4,000, what you are required to show for your visa is the £4,500 remaining plus the maintenance money that the UKVI requires. So a lot of people were going to Teesside University, and then the £4,500 that was remaining for the first year, you could pay it in 5 installments or 3 installments at that time. So a lot of people were choosing Teesside University, even though they are a bit problematic or they're a bit lengthy with their precast and all the other checks that they do before you eventually resume as a student. But people were going there because it was very affordable. However, like I said, 2023, some of the schools just acted up and Teesside acted up. They went for saying that people can pay their deposit between 3 to 5 installments to, I think, 2 to 3. They also increased their deposit fee at that time to like 5,000, and it was just a bit hectic. There were also some news of them reporting their students to UKVI because they did not pay, and so many things. So I guess with all that is happening, they reverted to status quo because now their deposit fee is £4,000, and they also have reverted back to the 3 to 5 installment payment plan. So when you resume in school, you would meet the finance team, and then you say whether you want to pay your remaining tuition fee in 3 installments or you want to pay it in 5 installments. Now, for the September intake, if you are considering 3 installment payment plan, your first payment will be done in October, the second will be done in December, and the third will be done in February. Now, if you're considering taking up the 5 installment payment plan, your first payment will be in October, the second will be in December, the third will be in January, the fourth will be in February, and the fifth will be in March, which is fair in my own opinion. Now, the next school is Liverpool John Moores University. Now, the deposit for Liverpool John Moores is £5,000, and the remaining is paid in 3 installments. Now, after paying the £5,000 deposit, Liverpool John Moores expects that you should pay the first installment by enrollment. Now, for September, enrollment is around the first to second week in September. So you're supposed to pay your first installment at that point in time. After your second installment, which is very nice in my own opinion, is supposed to be paid January. So after September, you don't have to pay in October, you don't have to pay in November, you don't have to pay in December. Your next payment is in January. And after paying the second installment in January, the next payment is in April. So you don't have to pay in February, March. The next installment is in April, which I think they spaced it out well, considering it's a 3 installment payment plan. And I think that is fair and okay. Now, the next university is University of Lincoln. Now, University of Lincoln expects you to pay 50% of your tuition fee as your deposit, and then the remaining 50% is paid in 9 monthly installments, starting from the enrollment, which is September. So they are going to split the remaining 50% of your tuition fee into equal parts, and you're expected to pay that amount every month till it finishes. Now, the next school is the University of the West of England. Now, the University of the West of England expects that you should pay £8,500 for your deposit, and the remaining fee is paid in 6 monthly installments starting from November if you are a September intake. So you don't pay anything in September, you don't pay anything in October, but you start paying from November, and you pay in November, December, January, February, March, April. So you are paying between November to April. You're expected to have finished paying your remaining tuition fee from November to April. Now, the 10th school on my list is University of Bolton. Now, this University of Bolton was very problematic. At one point, it was looking very nice. And then at one point, they were expecting that before you even get your admission, you're supposed to show that you have the money, the full tuition fee in your account and the maintenance fee. So you're supposed to submit your bank statement. And I was like, how are you expecting people to submit their bank statement before they are even given an admission? At one point in time too, they expected that you should pay all your tuition fee as deposit. And I was like, wow, this school, I'm never recommending it. So when I saw a lot of international students actually saying that University of Bolton is equally as good as University of Salford, I had to go dig in and find out why they are saying that. Now, one of the reasons why they are saying that is because they have multiple payment plan right now, and it is individualized because there's really no like fixed payment plan for them according to what is on their website and from other sources. It seems like you can pay your school fees, the remaining school fees, after paying your deposit fee in like up to 8 installment payment plan. When you resume in school, you are supposed to go to the finance team and establish a plan. Either you'll be paying monthly or every 2 months. So they are kind of flexible in that area. I saw a lot of people saying that some of those schools that are doing monthly payment, they accept payment as low as £400 every month, just to make sure that you are paying something towards your tuition fee. Now, the deposit for University of Bolton is £5,000. And like I said, the installment payment plan would be established between you and the finance team. But I've seen cases where they have accepted up to 8 monthly payments. So that is a better payment plan compared to what they previously were doing. Now, I mentioned that I was just going to give 10 schools that have great installment payment plan, but here is one extra. Now, the extra is University of Dundee. Now, University of Dundee, which is located in Scotland, the deposit is £5,000. They have been consistent with their £5,000 deposit fee. And then the remaining fees is supposed to be paid in 7 monthly installments. So for September intake, you are expected to pay the first installment in mid-October. So the mid of every month from October to April is when they expect you to pay part of your school fees that is remaining. For January intake, it's from mid of February to mid of August. So every middle of the month from October for September intake to April, you're supposed to pay something. And for January intake, it's from February to August. So I think that is a great option for installment payment plan. These schools have been said to be okay by some of the past students, recent past students, and some of the current students. I hope this helps people to choose the best school for them. But if you watch some of my other videos, you know that this is just one aspect you should look at when choosing a school. There are other things that you're supposed to check out apart from the installment payment plan. You should also check out the school fees, because there's no point in you going to a school that has 7 monthly installment payment plan, but the school fees is like 30,000. It doesn't make sense. You might not be able to pay it while in school, because as you know, you are only expected to work 20 hours per week as an international student while school is in session. But while school is not in session, during the holiday you can work full time, but that might not be enough to pay a £30,000 school fees. So you should also check other things before deciding on the school. But if your school fees is very, very okay, and you're able to get your tuition fee deposit and even the first installment before arriving in the UK, some of these schools will do you a lot of good to go to them. Anyway, that is all about the schools with the best installment payment plan as of 2025. We don't know if they're going to change in 2026, but that is what is currently happening in these schools. Now, concerning myself, 2024 was hectic, and I was going through a lot physically, mentally, and I could not cope with a lot of things. I was doing other things. I was struggling to do other things, but coupled with the fact that the economy in Nigeria and the whole issue with the dependent and all the policies that were kind of against international students, I just decided there was no point in me struggling more to continue to upload videos and offer educational services and further deteriorate my health. So I decided to take a step back. I also lost a family member, so I was not in the mood for too much. I just wanted to just take a step back, and that's why I was not doing a lot of educational content. So now I'm slowly trying to get back into it, so I would try to show up. I have a lot of videos that I want to make. I'll have a lot of information that I want to share. There is the MRS option that a lot of schools have started offering, so that people who have dependents can relocate with their dependent. So that's one of the things that I want to talk about, because quite a lot of people don't understand what the MRS involves, but they are just looking at the fact that they can take their dependent, they can relocate with their dependent. So that is a video that is definitely going to come up soon. That is basically all that has been happening. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did and you found it useful, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.
Same song, but brand new dance. I wear out my third second chance.